Hello, my name is Aurora and you're watching Amby.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia and I am so excited to be sitting here once again with Aurora.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good.
I want to say welcome back to Toronto and thanks for catching up.
Thanks for having me.
It is my absolute pleasure. How's it feel to be back?
Oh, it feels lovely. I really love, Canada overall, but I love Toronto. You have the best pho here, Vietnamese food, which has nothing to do with Canadian people, but
no,
it's
but
still
hey, if
good.
it's good, we'll take it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're like singing to yourself just thinking about it, right?
Yes.
Is that something you always have to get when you're here? You always try?
We don't have it in my city or my village. There's nothing there really, so it's really nice to have it here. It just feels like my organs say, "Oh, thank you so much for eating this."
What are some other meals where your organs will talk to you? What are some ones that they just love?
When I eat fish.
Fish,
They love that also. I can feel it.
Well, I have some tour tweets from you that I'd love to hear a little bit more about. So the first one you sent out, you said, "Sweet dreams, I'm going to fight some monsters and ride a dragon in mine." So we know you're a warrior, so do you often think about flying around on dragons?
I do, most of the time. Yes. I always try to kind of decide what I get to experience in my dreams. And if I think about it enough, it often happens.
Really?
So I thought about that a lot, and I did actually ride a dragon in that dream.
Oh, wow.
Because it really works. Your mind is kind of, I don't know, it's
subconsciously ready to go right into that.
So I did. It was wonderful.
Oh, okay. And then the other tweet that I have here, you said, "I cut my own hair, by the way. I feel like the warrior princess I should be. Half universe, half forest. It's very strange, but I love it." So have you been cutting your hair for a really long time?
Yes, I do. I don't like going to hairdressers. I have one friend that I go to, but usually I don't know. I always know how I like it.
Yeah.
So
it's easier,
it's just
right?
easier to cut it yourself. And I have this huge scissors that I can also cut the pizza with. It's like a pizza cutter. And that's why my hair is so like crooked and so that really works for me. Very good. Yeah.
I would not have thought of that. A pizza cutter for your hair.
Yeah, pizza cutter.
Hey, if it works, right? It looks really good.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, it's a super exciting time right now, not just to be a fan of yours, but I'm assuming for yourself right now too, because there is some new music on the way. So is the anticipation just kind of killing you inside right now?
Oh, it is.
It is?
But in the nicest way. I am so ready for this campaign or this chapter. A bookmark, I guess it is, in my book. And it's really exciting. I have so much to say and so much to share on all the angles of every song, the cover and the video and the song itself. So it's really exciting. Yeah.
I can see just on your face, you're just ready. You're ready to share it.
I am.
I know that it was recorded in France, and there was a dog there. There was also a cat named Ginger, and apparently there was something there that kind of looked like a castle. So tell me a little bit more about the atmosphere, because it sounded like it was right up your alley.
It was. I went there. I think a friend of mine found it for me in England, and he said, this would be the perfect place for you to record your album. And I looked at it, and it was perfect. It had this tiny pond and this garden with a donkey even, and a forest, and the house was really old and it looked like a castle, and the beds were so soft and you slept so good. Not much, because I did whipping it. I did whip us all quite hard when we stayed there, so we didn't get to sleep that much. It
Not
was
too much time to dream
it
about
was
dragons.
long day, and it's nice to be a bit on the edge when you work, because you get to and don't go to bed before your mind is empty. Anyway, it was beautiful. I loved it, and even when I slept, I didn't leave. It was so strange. Every night I dreamt of myself still being in the house.
Oh, wow.
I never left the place in any way, but I had a mission to do, I didn't leave before I was done with it.
So far you have shared Queendom, and it is such a catchy and infectious, very anthemic song. But in the music video, you definitely show off your ethereal dance moves too. And even when you were coming into the room for the interview, like, you're ready to have a boogie. So what was it like kind of channeling that once again and being able to make that music video? Because it looked like so much fun.
I love dancing. It makes me feel like myself a lot. Quite often I feel quite strange when I stand still. If I'm in line or in a queue, it makes me feel a bit weird.
Okay.
But if I dance, I never feel weird. I always feel very natural, like I'm not supposed to only have one shape. So it's very satisfying, and it's I think it's the most free thing you can ever do, isn't it? To just
let yourself
move.
go.
Yeah, but it's hard for many people, and it's nice when a song can help people let go a bit.
Do you have any go-to bands for yourself, or when you hear them right away, you just know you're going to start dancing?
Oh yeah, many. Actually, my fellow Scandinavian, what do you call it? Musicians from ABBA.
Oh, of course.
They make all the Norwegian people, all the Swedish people, all the dance, especially after 1 a.m.
Okay, that's the hidden
It's
spot
very
right
good
there,
timing.
the good time.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that when you like to dance the most? Do you find it's at nighttime rather than day? Like, you just, for some reason, there's something about it?
Maybe it's when other people dance the most. So then I'm dancing in a crowd. But most of the time I dance alone. But I find it equally as satisfying.
It's interesting that you mentioned nighttime there past one in the morning, because for me, I noticed that you make a lot of references to the moon. Like, you have one thing here, of course, it's dancing in a place between the moon and the stars, and then your location on Twitter is literally the moon. So would you kind of classify yourself as a moon child in a sense? What about it do you love so much?
I'm definitely a moon child. I just love the moon. She's so humble. And the way she kind of lights up the night and moves the ocean around, tides and lows, and it's just such a mysterious thing, isn't it, the moon? And the way she kind of lends light from the sun and reflects it on us when we need it the most, to kind of give us some kind of hint that, he's coming back, the sun. I feel like the sun is a man and the moon is a woman.
I noticed that you referred to the moon as she.
Yeah, and I don't know. There is something masculine about the sun, something grand, something like I don't know,
that
like
says it all.
yeah. But the moon is kind of like
more elegant.
If you go to like a stereotype kind of vibes, it's kind of like, I don't know. It feels right. If I was to write a book about it, it would be the man and the lady up in the sky.
Well, here on the website, we not only interview musicians like yourself, but also wrestlers. So I was wondering, if you could have an in-ring wrestling persona, how would you want to be in the ring? Good bad guy? How would you see yourself?
I would like to be a bad guy.
Okay.
In the ring, definitely. I do know a lot of, like, I've taken a lot of self-defense courses, and I did go to Brazilian wrestling a few years ago.
Very cool.
So I'm very into that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
I think everyone should learn a bit. It's a nice way to stay kind of independent in life.
Do you feel like your persona would be that bad guy, like almost like the Moonchild? You could kind of channel that a little bit as your persona.
Maybe. Or like a little, what do you call it? Like a nymph, or like one of those kind of lures you in, but then she chops your head off and eats it.
Okay.
Kind of like a romantic.
I don't know if you guys would want to face Aurora in the ring, but it sounds a little serious. that face says it all right there. Very mischievous. Well, just to wrap things up, I do want to leave it with your fans, because even before that red light turned on, we were talking about them, how much you love them. Is there anything you want to say to all of those who will be viewing this interview?
Well, now my world is kind of getting bigger and bigger, and more people are kind of, noticing what I do. But I can very easily notice who my true warriors and weirdos are, because they're so nice people, And it's weird how kind of our world kind of has changed a bit lately when other people have kind of peeked into it. But I hope that that people don't worry about it, and just remember that we have each other, and that I love you so, my children. I love them a lot. I wouldn't be here without them.
I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. It's been absolutely amazing to see not just your growth, but your fan base's growth since we last spoke. So thank you for joining me again.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
It's my pleasure. And remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at aliciaatout.com for all exclusive interviews and features. See ya.